The crack of a desert eagle ripped through dawn's silence. I found my wife in the yard, the golden pistol shaking in her hands as her lover stalked forward. The dread in her eyes sent me reaching for my metal bat. Be me, Richard Wilson. 31 years old, living in Newport Beach. Senior software engineer at major tech company. Married to Jennifer, most beautiful woman I've ever known. 8 years of marriage that seemed perfect until tonight. Everything changes in one autumn night. Lying in bed at 2 a.m., warm breeze coming through the window. Night is unusually quiet, the kind of silence that chokes you. Like something terrible is about to happen. Suddenly hear sharp crack of gunfire. Adrenaline surges through my veins. Throw off covers instantly. Sprint towards front door like my life depends on it. Porch light flickering eerily, casting weird shadows across our stone driveway. Scene in front of me makes my blood freeze. Jennifer standing there. My wife of 8 years, trembling hands clutching black pistol. Few feet away stands half-naked guy. Typical gym rat type. His muscles glistening under moonlight. Hands raised in surrender position. Also trying to calm her down. Jennifer! Voice comes out raw with panic. She whips head towards me. Mascara streaked down her cheeks. Her soft blue eyes now wild and frenzied. Our eyes lock for a moment. See fear, regret, and something darker. Stay back, Richard, she shrieks, gun shaking in her hand. The guy, let's call him Blake, takes cautious step towards her. Jennifer, put it down. Come on, babe, we can talk about this. That word, babe, hits harder than any gunshot could. Stomach twists into knots. Reality slams into me like freight train. This isn't some random break-in. My wife isn't being threatened. She's the one with the gun. And this guy, spot wooden baseball bat by porch. Left there after Sunday's BBQ. Fingers wrap around handle. Chest heaving with rage and confusion. Talk about what, Jennifer? Step closer, knuckles white on bat. Explain this to me right now. Jennifer's face contorts. Torn between tears and rage. Richard, please just go back inside. This doesn't involve you. Doesn't involve me? The audacity makes me want to laugh. Feel pressure building behind my eyes. Temples pounding with each heartbeat. Blake tries stepping closer again. Hand outstretched like some cheap soap opera hero. Dude, just relax. This isn't what you think. Oh, I'm relaxed. Say it through gritted teeth. Raise the bat slightly. I'm perfectly relaxed, Blake. Why don't you enlighten me? Tell me what this is. Jennifer's arms start to sag. Gun lowering slightly. For a split second, think this nightmare might end. Think it might be some bizarre misunderstanding. But then she speaks. Her words cut through me like glass shards. I love him, Richard. Silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. Even the crickets stop chirping. Stagger back a step. Those 4 words hit like a punch to the chest. Jennifer's lips quiver. She turns away. Can't even look at my broken expression. Blake, the smug bastard, looks relieved. His shoulders relax. Even dares to smirk slightly. That's it. That's the final spark. Before I can stop myself. Lunge forward. Bat swinging in an arc. Blake barely stumbles back in time. Wood misses his jaw by an inch. Richard, stop! Jennifer screams. Gun rising again. This time aimed directly at me. Everything freezes. Blake has his hands up again, face pale now. Jennifer trembling, finger hovering near trigger. Me standing there, gripping bat so tight might splinter. Stare at my wife. Woman I loved, protected, shared every part of my life with. All I see now is a stranger. A lying, unfaithful stranger. Someone who'd rather pull gun on husband than face consequences of her actions. Jennifer, voice comes out low, shaky. You've got one chance. Put the gun down. We'll figure this out. But if you pull that trigger, if you make this choice, there's no coming back from it. Her lip quivers, gaze darts between me and Blake. Indecision painted all over her tear-streaked face. Then with trembling hands. Does the last thing anyone expected? Turns the gun on herself. World tilts sideways. Time slows down. Jennifer, no! Blake shouts. Leaps forward, but it's too late. Click, gun jams. For 1 second. Only sound is sharp click of empty chamber. Everything stops, then chaos erupts again. Blake lunges at Jennifer, trying to wrestle weapon from her hands. Drop my bat instantly. Sprint forward. Collide with them both. Raw desperation in every movement. Crash to the ground in tangled heap. Gun skids across gravel. Disappears into darkness. Blake grunts beneath me. Tries pushing me off. But I've got years of pent-up anger. Fueling every punch. Every shove. Jennifer scrambles to her feet. Face streaked with tears and panic. Bolts towards house. Jennifer! Shout after her, but she's already inside. Door slams shut behind her. Blake groans under me, still trying to twist free. Press my forearm against his throat. Pin him down hard. What the hell did you do to my wife? Growl the words out. His face turns red, eyes bulging as he chokes, Only manages to gasp one word. Nothing. Suddenly hear glass shattering inside house. Sound makes me freeze. Jennifer's alone in there, judging by the noise. Things about to get much worse. Sound of breaking glass like fire alarm in my brain. Push myself off Blake. Let him gasp for air, like pathetic worm he is. Sprint towards front door. Jennifer? Roar as I burst inside. Living room is pure chaos. One of our wedding photos face down. Glass shards scattered everywhere, like sharp confetti. Lamp toppled over, casting weird shadows on pale blue walls. But Jennifer nowhere in sight. She has to be upstairs. Has to be. Feet thunder up staircase. Taking 2 steps at time. Every moment feels stretched. Every breath ragged. Mind racing with horrible possibilities. Is she grabbing another weapon? Planning to hurt herself? Or worse, me. Reach bedroom door. Freeze in place. Door slightly ajar. Light spilling out from inside. Push it open slowly. There she is. Jennifer standing by our bed. Phone clutched in shaking hands. Her eyes snap up to meet mine. Looks like cornered animal. Mascara-streaked face pale and glistening. With fresh sweat. Who are you calling, Jennifer? Keep voice low. Dangerous. She hesitates. Thumb hovering over screen. It's none of your business, Richard. Take step forward. She flinches. Like she doesn't even know me anymore. Or maybe I don't know her. Oh, it's my business, all right. Feel anger rising. Everything in this house is my business. Especially when my wife Jennifer, is standing out in driveway with some half-naked gym rat while holding a gun. Her lip quivers. But then something changes. Face hardens like switching mask. You're not some innocent victim here, Richard. Her voice sharp, venomous. Words hit like slap. Blink in surprise. Excuse me? You were never there, she continues. Voice rising with each word. You were always at work. Always busy. Always somewhere else. And when you were here, it was like you weren't really here at all. Bitter laugh escapes my throat. Oh, so it's my fault. You decided to let Blake bench press you. On our marital bed? That's rich, Jennifer. Real rich. Her phone buzzes in hand. Screen lights up. For split second, I see name. Blake. Still texting him. Can't believe this. You're still texting him? Voice comes out incredulous. Richard, don't ya? She snaps. Tries hiding phone behind back. Move faster than thinking. Lunge forward. Snatch phone from her hands. She gasps. Claws at my arm. But shove her back onto bed. With force that shocks even me. Phone screen still lit. Message preview blinks up at me. Did you tell him yet? We can still leave tonight. Just say the word. Cold sensation spreads through chest. Leave tonight? Jennifer sits on bed edge now. Arms wrapped around herself. Like trying to shrink away. Face pale. Lips trembling. You were planning to leave me? Voice barely above whisper. She doesn't answer. Roar the name out. And she flinches again. Yes, okay? She spits words out. Fresh tears spilling down cheeks. We were planning to leave tonight. We were going to pack up and And what? Disappear? Start some new life together? While I'm left picking up pieces? Of the mess you two made? She covers face with hands. Sobs uncontrollably. But can't bring myself to feel pity. Not anymore. Sound of footsteps on stairs. Makes both of us freeze. Blake, turn towards door. Grip Jennifer's phone so tight. Think it might crack. Richard, Jennifer's voice full of panic. Don't hurt him. Audacity of her words. Almost makes me laugh. Don't hurt him? You're worried about him right now? Before can storm out. Blake steps into doorway. He's shirtless now. Bruise already forming on jaw, where I hit him earlier. All right, man, Blake says. Hands raised in surrender. Let's just all calm down, okay? Nobody needs to get hurt here. Take step towards him. Entire body trembling with rage. You've got some nerve. Showing your face in here, Blake. In my house. In my bedroom. Jennifer scrambles off bed. Places herself between us. Arms outstretched like shield. Stop it, she screams. Both of you just stop it. But not hearing her anymore. Entire focus on Blake, the man who slipped into my life. Into my marriage. Thought he could waltz away. With my wife. Get out of my house. Say through gritted teeth. Now. Before I do something, we'll all regret. Blake hesitates. Eyes flickering to Jennifer, who's shaking head frantically. Go, Blake, she yells. He doesn't need second invitation. Blake turns. Bolts down hallway. Footsteps pounding against wooden floor. Disappears into night. Jennifer collapses onto floor. Sobbing into her hands. For first time in this mess. Feel empty inside? The rage, the confusion, the heartbreak. All drains out, leaving me hollow and cold. Richard. Jennifer whimpers from floor. But can't look at her. Not anymore. Turn and walk out of room. Broken pieces of our marriage. Scattered behind me, like shards of glass. On living room floor, House feels haunted now, not by ghosts, but by echoes of shattered trust, broken promises. Ghost of love we once shared. Stand in dimly lit kitchen. Grip half-empty glass of whiskey. Hold it so tight might shatter. My reflection stares back. From kitchen window. Hollow-eyed man with clenched jaw. Weight of world on shoulders. Can still hear Jennifer sobbing upstairs. Part of me wants to march back up. Demand real answers. Not excuses she vomited earlier. But another part just exhausted. Front door still wide open. Breeze carries faint smell of rain. Blake's gone, thank God. But his scent lingers. Disgusting mix of cologne and sweat. My house feels contaminated. Grab my phone. Scroll through old photos. Jennifer and me at Laguna Beach. Jennifer laughing at anniversary dinner. Jennifer resting head on my shoulder. Watching fireworks at Harbor Day Festival. Each picture like knife, twisting deeper into chest. How did we get here? How did she get here? Silence broken by hesitant footsteps. Don't need to turn around. No, it's her. Jennifer stands there, wrapped in one of my old sweatshirts. Mascara-streaked face pale and hollow. Richard, she starts, voice barely above whisper. Don't, say it sharply, without turning to face her. Just don't. She freezes in place. For a long time, neither speaks. Only sound is wall clock ticking and refrigerator humming. Please, she finally says, voice cracking. Please just listen to me. Turn around slowly. Lock eyes with her. Cross arms over chest. Listen to what, Jennifer? More excuses? More lies? Going to tell me how it wasn't supposed to happen? Or how it just happened? Or how you didn't mean to fall in love with him? She winces like been slapped. Good. Let her feel fraction of pain she caused. It wasn't like that, she stammers. Voice weak. Oh, it wasn't? Let out bitter laugh. Then enlighten me, Jennifer. Because from where I'm standing, looks like you've been planning to run away with him for weeks, maybe months. Was any of this real? Were we real? Or was I just paycheck and doormat to you? She takes shaky breath, tears streaming down face again. Richard, please. I'm so sorry. Sorry? Snap the word out. You're sorry? Sorry doesn't even scratch surface of what you've done. You didn't just cheat on me, Jennifer. You planned to leave me, built a life with him behind my back. And now you're standing here crying, expecting me to what? Forgive you? Hold you? Tell you everything's going to be okay? Her shoulders shake. Silent sobs rack her body. But don't move. Don't comfort her. Can't anymore. Why him, Jennifer? Voice low now. Almost defeated. Out of all people in world. Why him? What did he have that I didn't? She hesitates. Eyes flickering with something. Guilt, maybe. Or shame. He made me feel wanted, Richard. Says finally, voice trembling. He made me feel like I was alive again. Like I mattered. Those words hit harder than any physical punch ever could. Breath catches in throat. Turn away. Stare at whiskey glass in hand. Do you have any idea? Whisper words out. Voice cracking. What you've done to me? Do you even care about damage caused? About fact I can't even look at you without feeling sick to my stomach? She steps forward, but raise hand to stop her. Don't come closer. Say it firmly. Don't you dare come closer. For a moment she freezes. Can see something shift in her expression. Tears slow. Lips press into thin line. You think this is all my fault, don't you? Her voice suddenly colder. You think you're completely blameless? Turn to face her again, disbelief washing over me. Are you serious right now, Jennifer? You're really going to try and spin this back on me? She crosses arms, gaze hardening. You shut me out, Richard. For years you buried yourself in work, in your own little world, left me to feel invisible. Then act shocked when someone else pays attention to me. Rage surges through me, blinding hot. No, Jennifer, say with trembling voice. You don't get to rewrite history, to make yourself victim. You could have talked to me, could have told me how you felt, but instead you chose him. You chose betrayal. And now you have audacity to stand here and tell me this is my fault? Her shoulders slump. Fire in her eyes flickers out. We stare at each other across kitchen. Two broken people, standing in ruins of marriage. I can't do this, say finally. Voice hollow. Can't even look at you right now. Set whiskey glass down on counter. Walk past her. Head for front door. Where are you going? She asks weakly. Out. Say without turning around. Cold night air hits his step outside. Driveway empty. Gravel still marked from earlier scuffle. Walk down street. Weight of everything crushing down. Anger, hurt, betrayal, all mixed together. Storm inside chest. Don't know where going. But know one thing for sure. Can't stay in that house. Not with her. Not tonight. Night air hits like slap to face. Cold and sharp. Not enough to clear chaos in mind. Feet move on their own. One step after another. Carrying away from house. Scene of humiliation, of heartbreak, of rage. Quiet suburban street, only lit by flickering streetlights. Faint smell of rain lingers. No destination in mind. Hands deep in hoodie pockets. Head down as walk aimlessly. Phone buzzes twice in pocket. Don't check it. No, it's her. Jennifer. Woman spent last 7 years with. Building life together. Woman who planned to leave. In dead of night. With wannabe fitness influencer. Stomach turns at thought. Blake. Even his name tastes bitter. After hour of walking. Find myself in front of O'Malley's. Irish pub haven't visited in years. Push door open. Smell of stale beer and fried food. Hits like old memory. Bartender looks up. Grizzled man in 50s. Named Frank. Richard, haven't seen you in ages. You look like hell. Feel like it too. Mutter while sliding onto bar stool. Whiskey neat. Frank pours drink without word. Places it in front of me. Down it in one gulp. Burnin' throat. Briefly distracts from deeper ache. Another. Slide glass back toward him. Bar mostly empty. Few scattered patrons. Staring into drinks. Watching muted sports game. On TV above counter. Woman sits at far end. Red lipstick smudged. Eyes glassy. Catches my gaze briefly. Offers small knowing smile. Before turning back to drink. Frank pours another glass. Sip this time. Let warmth spread through me. You look like man with story. Frank says, leaning on bar across from me. Stare into amber liquid. Voice comes out low. Wouldn't believe me if told you. Try me. Take deep breath. Let words spill out. Tell everything. The driveway scene. The gun. Blake's smug face. Jennifer's tears. The texts. Plans to leave me. All comes pouring out, like poison from wound. Frank listens quietly. Expression unreadable. Just nods occasionally. When finally finish. Feel like ran marathon. Chest tight. Throat raw. Damn, Frank says finally. Pours himself drink. You know, Richard. Seen a lot of messed up stuff in this bar. But that's special kind of cruel. Nods slowly. Swirl whiskey in glass. Yeah, it is. For a while we sit in silence. Frank serves other customers. Nurse my drink, stare blankly at TV screen. Outside, rain starts falling. Soft drizzle at first, then steady downpour. Phone buzzes again. Finally pull it out. Look at screen. Jennifer, 5 missed calls. 3 messages. Richard, please come home. We need to talk. I'm so sorry, please. Shove phone back in pocket. Her words feel hollow now. Just ink on paper. Empty and meaningless. Bar door creaks open. Group of rowdy young guys stumble in. Their laughter breaks heavy air. Stare at them for a moment. Remember time when was that carefree? That blissfully ignorant? Frank leans back against bar, arms crossed. So what now, Richard? You going back to her? Question hangs heavy in air. Don't have answer. I don't know. Admit quietly, how do you go back after this? How do you look at her? And not see him? How do you ever trust again? Frank sighs. Shakes head. Trust, Richard, is like glass. Once it's shattered, can try to glue it back together, but never be same. You'll always see cracks. Some people can live with that. Others can't. His words hit harder than expected. Could I live with cracks? Live with constant doubt? Paranoia. Endless replay of tonight. Every time she looks at phone. Every time leaves house. Phone buzzes again. But this time not Jennifer. Number don't recognize. Hesitate then answer. Hello? Voice crackles on other end. Man's voice. Shaky and breathless. Richard, it's Blake. Every muscle and body tenses. What the hell do you want? Listen, man. Jennifer's not okay. She's talking crazy. Saying stuff about ending it all. I don't know what to do. You need to get back here now. Blood turns to ice. Call disconnects. Stand up so fast. Bar stool nearly topples over. Frank looks at me. Brows furrowed. What is it? Need to go. Throw some cash on bar. Bolt for door. Rain drenches instantly. Don't care. Feet pound against pavement. Sprint back toward house. Mind racing with worst case scenarios. Jennifer, don't you dare. Mutter under breath. Driveway comes into view. Illuminated by faint porch light. Front door ajar. Swinging slightly in wind. Step inside cautiously. Shoes squeaking on hardwood. Jennifer! Call out. Voice echoes through silence. No response. Then hear it. Faint click upstairs. Stomach drops. Bolt upstairs. Heart slamming against ribcage. Door to bedroom wide open. Jennifer stands there, trembling. Something metallic glinting in hand. Jennifer! Shout her name. She turns to face me. Eyes red and wild. Then world goes silent. Time freezes. Stand in doorway. Rainwater dripping from clothes. Onto wooden floor. Jennifer across room. Clutching gun with trembling hands. Mascara-streaked face wild with panic. Chest heaving like every breath a struggle. Jennifer, put it down. Say softly. Raise hands, like trying to calm wild animal. Her eyes dart around room. Unfocused, glassy, like can't even see me. Knuckles white on weapon, finger hovering over trigger. Richard? She stammers. I didn't mean for any of this. I swear I didn't. I didn't want you. Hey! Interrupt. Step cautiously into room. We can talk about this, but need to put gun down first. Behind her window open. Rain spraying into room, soaking curtains. Cold draft sweeps across face, carries faint smell of gunpowder. Eyes flicker briefly to nightstand. Shattered photo frame on floor. Us on wedding day, smiling like idiots. You hate me now, don't you? Jennifer's voice cracks, lowers gun slightly, arms trembling under weight. You think I'm worthless? A liar, a cheater. You'll never forgive me, Richard. I know it. Take another slow step forward. Jennifer, listen to me. Not going to stand here and tell you everything's okay. Because it's not, but this isn't way out. Please just put gun down. We can figure this out together. Floorboard creaks behind me, turn just in time. See him there? Blake, smug bastard standing in hallway. Half hidden behind doorframe, face pale and hands raised. Jennifer, he calls out, voice high pitched with panic. Babe, please don't do this. Get out. Jennifer screams, turns gun on him so fast. Both Blake and I flinch. Get out of my house! For one brief second. Consider letting her pull trigger. Let her rid world of this parasite. But then see look in her eyes. Pure, raw desperation. She's unraveling. If someone doesn't stop her, this night ends in tragedy. Jennifer, stop! Shout while moving closer. Her gaze snaps back to me. Gun wavers again. Do you know what it's like, Richard? She chokes out. Do you know what it's like? To hate yourself so much. Can't even look in mirror anymore. To feel like you've ruined everything good in your life? Swallow hard. Jennifer, I know you're hurting, and I know I'm angry. Furious even, but you're still here, right in front of me. That means there's still chance to make this right. But not if you pull that trigger. Not if you let this moment define rest of your life. Her lip quivers. Tears roll down cheeks. Gun dips lower, arms shaking uncontrollably. Babe, please, Blake's voice comes again. Sharp and cutting through moment. Like glass, Jennifer turns toward him again. In her hesitation, make my move. Lunge forward, slam into her. Grab her wrists. Force gun away. It discharges, deafening sound fills room. Leaves ringing in ears. Shot shatters window behind us. Glass explodes outward. Into rain-soaked night. Jennifer screams. Wrench gun from her hand. Toss it across room. Skids under bed. Out of reach. She crumples to floor. Body racked with sobs. Blake stands frozen in doorway. Mouth hanging open. Hands still raised. Get out. Say it low and sharp. What? Blake stammers. Get out! Roar the words. Charge toward him. He bolts, stumbles backward into hallway. Nearly falls over himself. Turns and sprints downstairs. Front door slams shut moments later, leaving behind only silence. Sound of rain and Jennifer's broken sobs. Lean against doorframe, breathing hard. Head pounding from adrenaline surge. Jennifer curled up on floor. Fetal position, clutching knees to chest, like trying to disappear entirely. For a long moment, neither speaks. Weight of everything hangs heavy. Air suffocating and absolute. Sink to floor, back against wall. Stare at cracked ceiling above us. Why, Jennifer? Say softly. Voice barely audible over her sobs. Why did you do this to us? She doesn't answer. Woman I had loved. Woman I built life around. Now stranger to me. This person lying on floor. Broken and hollow. Isn't Jennifer I married. Or maybe she was, and I never saw it before. Rain outside grows heavier. Pounding against shattered window. Like drumbeat. Want to scream. To break something. To demand answers. Until throat raw. But instead sit there. In silence. Staring at floor. Feeling cold draft. From broken window. Wash over me. Jennifer's sobs eventually quiet. Replaced by shaky breaths. Richard, she whispers. Close my eyes. Exhaustion washing over me. Don't. Say with hollow voice. Just don't. Don't have energy. For her apologies. Her explanations. Her empty words. Not tonight. We sit there. Two broken people. In broken home. Surrounded by shattered glass. Smoking gun. And ghosts of everything lost. Hours that follow feel like eternity. Trapped in purgatory. Jennifer sits curled on floor near bed. Knees drawn to chest. Face buried in trembling arms. Stay by door. Leaning against wall. Head tilted back. Staring at cracked ceiling. Smell of gunpowder lingers, mixing with damp chill. From broken window. Neither speaks. Silence thick and oppressive. Filled with all words. Too afraid to say. Want to scream at her? Demand answers. Ask how long been living double life. smiling at me, while slipping off to him. But every time open mouth, words die in throat. Eventually exhaustion becomes too much. Push myself off floor, legs stiff and aching. Jennifer flinches at movement, doesn't look up. Can't do this right now, say voice low and ragged. She doesn't respond. Walk out of room, downstairs, into kitchen. Lights above counter buzz faintly. Open cabinet. Grab nearest bottle of whiskey. Don't bother with glass. Just twist cap off. Take long burning swig. Silence of house deafening. Even with storm outside, every creak of floor, every distant car passing, feels amplified. Lean against counter. Stare at dark reflection. In kitchen window. Face looks hollow. Eyes sunken and tired. This is my life now. Broken man in broken home. Clutching bottle. Wondering where everything went so horribly wrong. Hear soft footsteps behind me. Jennifer. She stands at edge of kitchen, still in damp clothes, hair sticking to face, in messy strands, eyes red and puffy, lips trembling as tries to form words. Richard, she whispers. Don't, say sharply, not turning to face her. Don't say my name like that. Not tonight. She freezes in place. Bare feet make no sound. Against cold tile floor. I never wanted this to happen, she says softly. Bitter laugh escapes. Take another swig from bottle. Well, Jennifer, it did happen. You made sure of that. She flinches, like I'd struck her. I'm sorry. No, that doesn't fix anything, but need you to know, I never stopped loving you. That's it. That's line that makes me snap. Slam whiskey bottle onto counter. Glass clinks violently. Spin around to face her. Voice low and sharp. Don't you dare say that to me. Don't you dare stand there and tell me you love me. After everything you've done. Tears well up in her eyes again. But can't bring myself to care. Not now. Do you know what it felt like, Jennifer? To see you standing there with him? To hear you making plans? To leave me like some disposable piece of trash you could throw away? When got bored, she covers mouth with hands. Muffling sob. Shake head and turn away. Chest heaving with anger. I gave you everything. Worked endless hours coding so we could have this house. Listened when you vented about bad days. Held you when you cried. And all while you were sneaking around with Blake. A walking cliche in gym shorts. I was weak, she cries out suddenly. Voice breaking. I was lonely, Richard. You were always at work, always distracted. And I know that's not excuse, but I felt invisible. Blake made me feel seen. He made me feel wanted again. Turned to face her, jaw tight. That's the thing, Jennifer. You were wanted, you were seen by me, but you chose to ignore that because you wanted something easier, something shiny and new. She sinks onto kitchen stool, buries face in hands again. For a long while, neither speaks. Rain outside slowed to light drizzle. Sound of raindrops tapping softly. Against broken glass upstairs. Grab whiskey bottle again. Walk past her, heading for living room. Where are you going? She asks weakly. Away from you. Say without turning around. Drop onto couch. Stare at ceiling. Whiskey bottle balanced loosely in hand. Somewhere upstairs. Can hear Jennifer's faint muffled sobs. Don't know what to do. Divorce? Separation? Could I ever forgive her? Even if wanted to. Every time close eyes. See her with him. Every smile she gives me now. Feels like lie. Hours pass. Sky outside starts to lighten with pale glow of dawn. At some point, Jennifer moves to living room, sits on opposite end of couch, clutching blanket around herself. Like its shield, her voice barely above whisper. Do you want me to leave? Question hangs heavy in air. Do I? Close eyes. Let out slow breath. I don't know, Jennifer. I just don't know. Sun begins to rise, casting weak rays through window blinds. Illuminates room, highlighting wreckage of our lives. The broken trust, the hollow stares, the quiet despair in both of us. Feel like man standing at edge of cliff, staring into abyss below. No idea whether to jump or turn back. Neither speaks again. But one thing clear, this isn't over. Sun creeps over horizon, spilling pale light into shattered remains of our home. Still on couch, now empty whiskey bottle, rolling near feet. Jennifer on far end, wrapped in thin blanket, knees pulled to chest. Neither of us slept. Silence between us grown heavier, thicker, like wet cement, hardening around our limbs. Then doorbell rings. We both freeze. Jennifer's head snaps up, eyes wide and fearful. Rub temples and groan. Who the hell's showing up at this hour? Bell rings again, followed by loud, impatient knocking. Bang, bang, bang. Get up slowly, muscles stiff and aching. Jennifer stays frozen on couch, clutching blanket tighter around her shoulders as approach door. Uneasy feeling gnaws a gut. crack it open slightly, peek through. There he is, Blake, wearing same stupid leather jacket, face puffy and bruised, lower lip split open, eyes bloodshot, swaying slightly on feet. He's drunk. Or high. Maybe both. What the hell you doing here, Blake? Growl through gritted teeth. Richard, man, listen, he slurs. I just need to talk to Jennifer. She doesn't want to talk to you. Say firmly. Now get hell off my porch before I need to see her, he shouts. Steps forward, places hand on door. Sudden rush of rage floods veins. Without thinking, shove him backward. He stumbles down steps. Lands on wet grass, leather jacket now streaked with mud. From behind me, Jennifer appears, voice trembling. Blake, go home. But Blake isn't listening. Scrambles to feet, points shaky finger at her. You promised me Jennifer. You said you were leaving him. You said we were going to be together. Vision goes red. You promised him? Turn to Jennifer, voice low and sharp. She freezes, face pale. Richard, it's not like that. Are you kidding me? After everything. After all your lies, all your excuses. Blake staggers forward again, voice growing louder. You love me, Jennifer. Tell him. Tell him the truth. Jennifer's face crumples, buries face in hands, sobbing. Stop it, Blake, please. Then it happens. Blake reaches into jacket pocket. Glint of metal catches eye. A knife. Stay back! Bark out. Step in front of Jennifer. But Blake isn't listening, muttering to himself, glassy eyes flickering. Between me and Jennifer, if I can't have her, then no one can. Time slows down. Blake lunges forward, knife raised. React purely on instinct. Hand shoots out, grab his wrist midair. We grapple violently. His knife inches from face. Can smell alcohol on breath. Sweat on his skin. Drop it, you psycho! Roar while twisting his arm. He grunts but grip ironclad. Slam his wrist against door frame. Once, twice, 3 times, until knife finally clatters to floor. But Blake isn't done. Tackles me. We both crash into hallway. Furniture topples. Picture frames shatter. Roll across floor. Fists flying. Teeth gritted. Stop! Jennifer screams, voice breaking through chaos. With every ounce of strength left, pin Blake to floor, one hand pressed against throat. His face turns red as he claws at my arms. You come into my house. Hiss through clenched teeth. You threaten me. You threaten her. Blake's eyes bulge. For one horrifying moment, feel like might actually kill him. But then Jennifer's voice cuts through. Haze again. Richard, please stop. Let go. Blake gasps and coughs, rolls onto side, sucking in desperate lungfuls of air. Sound of distant sirens breaks silence. Somewhere outside, blue and red lights flicker. Faintly through curtains, someone must have called police. Maybe neighbor who heard gunshot, or the shouting just now. Stand up, breathing heavily, chest rising and falling. In sharp bursts, Jennifer stands in doorway, tears streaming down face, hands trembling. As clutches blanket tighter around self, Blake sits up, face twisted with defeat. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Shake head in disgust. Get out, Blake, and don't ever come back. Sirens grow louder. Blake stumbles to feet, bolts outdoor, disappears into early morning fog. Police arrive minutes later. Officers with stern faces, sharp questions. They examine shattered window upstairs, broken furniture, blood on Blake's discarded knife. Statements taken, nods exchanged. But eventually they leave. House falls silent again. Jennifer and I sit across from each other. In wreckage of living room, weight of everything hangs heavy, like ash after fire. You were going to leave me, say softly, voice cracking. Jennifer looks down, at her trembling hands, unable to meet my gaze. I didn't mean for it to get this far, she whispers. But it did get this far, Jennifer. And now I don't know. If there's anything left to save, she starts crying again. Silent tears dripping onto torn blanket, wrapped around her shoulders, lean back against broken coffee table. Stare up at cracked ceiling, feeling more hollow than ever thought possible. Outside, first golden rays of daylight creep over horizon. Inside, feel like standing at edge of abyss, staring into darkness. Not sure can ever climb out of sun fully risen now, casting long golden rays across wreckage of living room. Jennifer slumped on couch, still clutching that frayed blanket, like last thing keeping her from falling apart. Stand by window, staring out into foggy morning street, watching faint shadows move. In distant houses, neighbors had seen. They always do. They talk. They always do. Neither says word for what feels like hours, but eventually speak. Voice low and tired. Jennifer, we can't keep doing this. She looks up at me, eyes hollow, face pale. Richard, please don't say that. Turn to face her. Cross arms over chest. Look around, Jennifer. Look at this house. Look at us. We're done. Whatever we had. It's dead. She flinches like I'd struck her. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. Stop. Say firmly. Just stop. Silence stretches again. She opens mouth to speak, but raise hand to stop her. I can forgive a lot of things, Jennifer. Can forgive mistakes, bad choices, even moments of weakness. But this, the lies, the betrayal, promises you made to him. Behind my back, voice cracks slightly, but push through. I'll never trust you again. And without trust, there's nothing left. Her lip trembles. Tears start rolling down cheeks again. But this time they don't stir any pity. Feel empty? Numb. Turn and start walking upstairs. I'll pack some things and leave for a few days. You can stay here until we figure out legal stuff. She shoots up from couch, dropping blanket. No, Richard, please. Please don't go. Please don't leave me. Pause on stairs. Back to her. You already left me, Jennifer. Long before tonight, her sobs echo through house. As walk up steps, grab duffel bag from bedroom. Stuff it with clothes, couple shirts, jeans, toiletries. Movements robotic, mechanical. Don't think, just move. Every corner of room feels contaminated with memories. Framed wedding photo on nightstand feels like cruel joke now. When zip up bag, pause by window. Sun climbing higher now, spreading light across neighborhood. But inside feels cold. Jennifer standing at bottom of stairs. When come down, her face blotchy, eyes swollen and red. Where are you going to go? She whispers. Somewhere away from here, reply simply. She reaches out, trembling hand, but stops herself halfway, lets it drop to side. I never wanted this, she says weakly. Neither did I. Walk past her, heading for door. But before open it, stop and look back one last time. Jennifer, I hope you figure yourself out. I really do. But I can't be here while you do it. She nods faintly, tears falling silently. Then walk out. Cold morning air hits. As step onto porch, duffel bag feels heavy on shoulder, but not as heavy. As weight in chest, neighborhood waking up, people walking dogs, kids waiting for school buses, normal lives carrying on, oblivious to disaster zone. In my chest, climb into car, just sit there while gripping steering wheel until knuckles turn white. Can still see her in rearview mirror, standing in doorway of our home. My home, her silhouette small, broken, fading with every passing second. Eventually start engine, drive without destination. Road stretching endlessly before me. Radio plays some slow acoustic song about heartbreak. Let it fill silence for hours drive. End up at cheap roadside motel, off Pacific Coast Highway. Wallpaper peeling, air smells like mildew and regret. Drop bag on bed, sit on edge, staring at floor. No rage left, no fire, just cold ashes where something used to burn. Reach for phone, hover thumb over Jennifer's contact name, but can't bring myself to call her. Instead, turn off phone, toss it onto nightstand, lay back on stiff mattress, stare at water-stained ceiling. For first time in months, let myself truly feel everything. The betrayal, the anger, the sadness, the loss. Think about years spent together. Good times, bad times, everything in between. And realize something important. Sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes no matter how much, want to fix something, it's too broken to put back together. Epilogue. Months passed. Divorce papers signed, house was sold. Jennifer moved out of Newport. Last heard she was trying to start over somewhere new. Blake, well, don't care enough to find out what happened to him. As for me, found small apartment downtown. Near Marina, it's quiet, modest, but it's mine. Started running again, picked up some hobbies, long forgotten, and slowly, very slowly, started to heal. There are still nights where memories creep in, where I can still see her, standing there, with gun in hand, Blake by her side. But those nights are fewer now. If there's one thing learned from all this, it's this: trust is fragile. Love is powerful, but it isn't invincible. And sometimes walking away is bravest thing you can do. To anyone going through something like this, would say, don't lose yourself trying to save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You deserve better. We all do.